to the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider, a full hour of Lakers hoops talk with head men's basketball coach Cornell Mann and head women's coach Mike Williams. Plus, special guests throughout the show. Now, live on location, here's your host, Brian Fongers.
Well, good Monday evening once again, everybody. We're coming to you live inside the GVSU basketball offices for yet another brand new installment of the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider. Talking all things Grand Valley State men's and women's basketball as we are racing, and I mean racing through the month of February. Believe it or not, this is our final show of the month of February. We'll have a couple of shows coming up in March. Come postseason time, we'll get more into that as the broadcast goes along tonight. But as we always do, we kick things off by talking about the GVSU men. A rare, tough weekend for the GVSU men. They were swept on the road in the Battle of the Valleys on Thursday against Saginaw Valley State, 92-65. And then in a track meet type of game on Saturday in Sault Ste. Marie, it was 105-95. Lake State got the better of the GVSU men, but not all is lost. The GVSU men are still in contention for trying to win a GLIAC regular season championship. They come in 20-6 overall, 13-5 in the GLIAC, a game back of first place Northern Michigan. And to touch on the weekend's games as we dip into the performances of the week, presented by Trinity Health, the official sports performance provider of GVSU Athletics. Head men's coach Cornell Mann joins us once again. Corn, as always, appreciate your time, and just give me your quick summation of the weekend as a whole. Obviously, defensively, probably some things to work on here with a quick turnaround coming up.
Well, the first thing I'd like to do is give credit to our opponents. I think this league is really, really good. Obviously, I think the players and the talent and the coaches are good. It's a tough league top to bottom. And but yes, our defense did not travel. All year long, you heard me say we got the best defense in the country, and I still believe that. But even the best defense in the country has lapses, and we did have lapses 2 games in a row, with the other team shooting a stew out of the ball. And so we practiced today, and we got some things rectified, no doubt about that. But in any game, and I'm talking about defense, so I'll talk about the first game. Our defense was not good, and they exposed the inside and outside. In the second game, our defense wasn't great, but anytime you turn the ball over 19 times for 27 points, that's hard to get that back. It's going to be hard to win that game no matter who you play. And so we took a deep dive into it and took a hard look at things, and we came up with a couple of things that we had to touch on, and we touched on them today. We'll go over it again tomorrow to make sure that we understand exactly what those things are, and then we'll move forward. The truth is our guys. I think our guys they tell off all the time, and we don't have any excuses in this program. At the end of the day. Anytime any team play, and obviously we're talking about Grand Valley State, anytime any team play, there's a lot of coaches that run from it. I don't run from anything. And if something is not right, then I blame me. We give the directive and the players have to carry it out. And if things don't go well, I still blame me. And so today we took some things, we talked to the staff, we went over some things with the players, and I think we feel great about where we're at right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys do an exceptional job of taking care of the basketball. One of the best teams in the country in turnovers per game. I believe it was roughly around just 10 turnovers a game. That's an outstanding number. In that game on Saturday, especially in the second half, Lake State put up 63 points. Did you feel like maybe your ball handlers were feeling more pressure, like sticking the basketball, not moving it, with as much fluidity as you'd like to see?
Well, I would say that, but I'd also say that, we talked about it beforehand. Some places you go, and I think Lake State is one of the places you go where, it's the road. Whenever you playing on the road, it's going to be some things lost in translation. And, I felt like our guys was not ready for the extra bumps or the extra swings on the arm for the ball, and that's basketball. And so we came loose with the ball. But yeah, also the ball didn't move as fluidly as it should have. But again, I mean, that's a one-off, and I don't think I'll see that again this year.
Well, on a positive note, especially Saturday, offensively, you put up 95 points, and normally you put up that many points, you win a basketball game, and in that game on Saturday, you had 3 players with at least 20 points, and you're starting to see some sparks off the bench. And Anton Allen, we talked about him after the game on Saturday. He was really confident with the ball on Saturday. You guys are going to need that depth here down the stretch, especially going up against teams that don't have a lot of depth coming off the bench.
Oh, no question about it. And again, in those games, we probably should have a little too much. We hadn't, but I thought maybe in those last couple games we probably did. And so, yeah, we got to do a better job of using our entire bench.
Yeah, on Saturday you had Trevor Smith, 21 points, 11 of those from the free throw line. Anton Allen, Mason Docks both had 20, and Jalen Charity had double figures in both games over the weekend. He had 12 points both on Thursday and Saturday. Did you feel like there was, you always talk about poise, was the poise missing this past weekend?
Well, yeah, I mean, you can look at the game and say that. I don't. Yeah, I mean, I think it was a lot missing. you know.
Yeah.
But I think when you got older guards and seniors that's been through it, that kind of know the deal in terms of what can happen on the road, you expect a higher level, and we didn't get it. And for whatever the reason is, I do think mentally, because the game is 80-90% mental. That's one of the things we talked about today. You cannot go on the road or at home and get into a tit for a tat and let a team talk to you so much or hit you and say things, whatever that is, and get you off your square mentally. And I felt like a couple guys did get off their square mentally. That itself would have you turn the ball over some. Mm-hmm. And so we got to be mentally tough enough to, and we are mentally tough enough. It was weird. And so we got to be mentally tough enough to have composure in those situations.
With the unique situation that the schedule is here the final 2 weeks, you don't have a lot of time to, I guess, dwell on your past losses. Can that be a good thing with a game being played tomorrow?
Yeah, and I don't think you should ever dwell on your losses. I mean, your yesterdays and moving forward. And so even if we had time, we would take a hard look at it, get into today, and is already left behind. We talked about those things again today, because it is hard for student athletes to not perform as a unit and as well as you've played all year, and then just to wash it away. But this is life, and this is basketball. Basketball oftentimes mirror life, and the more you get better at understanding that whatever happened did happen, and you get from it what it was and let it go, the more you'll be able to do that in the real world, in real live situations, because life is real. I just think it'll help them moving forward, and I think they understood as we talked about it today. I think they understand that.
Well, Corn, our special guest on the players' side for the men tonight is freshman B.J. Walker out of Zeeland, played at Zeeland East High School. Obviously, being a freshman, it can be maybe a little bit of a learning curve, longer for some players than others. Talk about his development here in his first year.
Well, I think I'll keep it a bean. I'll be 100% honest with you. Early in the year, we talked to B and Tori and told them we would be redshirting them, but at the same time I also told them they were playing just as good or better than some of the guys that's playing, and that is a fact. But you can't play 18 guys, and so BJ is a hard baller. Is what I may have more respect for a hard baller than anybody else in the game, which to me means he goes hard on defense, he go hard on offense. BJ had just come out of the blue, out of some play, and just make a crazy athletic defensive or offensive play. And his basketball game, I think, and he shoot the ball well as well, but his basketball game is really good. I think he got a chance to be a high level player. But wherever his basketball is, I think his person is even higher. He's a wonderful kid, young man, and an unbelievable student, a great teammate. I'm sure his mom, Amy, would say he's an awesome son. And so it's a lot. He could only mess it up.
Right.
It's a lot of good things that he has going for himself. I'm proud of him and hope he keep it going.
Well, Corn, we'll let you take a breather after this timeout. True freshman B.J. Walker out of Zeeland, Michigan will be joining us here for a conversation just about his life, his basketball life, why he committed to Grand Valley State, all that good stuff. We'll talk to him after this timeout as you're tuning in live to the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider from the GVSU Basketball offices right here on the Grand Valley Sports Network. Inside the GVSU basketball offices, continuing along with our men's conversation. It's now time for grind time with Big B Coffee. It's time to be. By the way, I'd like to welcome in our listeners on the Grand Valley Sports Network, along with our viewers on YouTube. Thanks for their support all season long. It's time now for our special guest segment, and joining us on the players' side, as I mentioned, going to break, True Michigan product of Zeeland East High School, B.J. Walker joins us. B.J., thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Well, before we get into your high school career, I want to ask you, like I always do with the freshmen, what made you want to commit to Grand Valley State?
GV is just a great place. I love the culture. I've been here in the past a couple times when I was younger. Always liked the culture. And then when I came on my visit, the team was very welcoming and joining. They included me like I was a friend or teammate, yeah, and all that.
And your relationship here with Corn was, obviously, he was probably a big factor in you committing as well, because he's always very honest with his players, very straightforward. Do you like that in a coach?
Yes, I do a lot. He is all I wanted. He's very pushing. He wants me to be the best I can ever be. So.
And the best piece of advice he's given you so far, or one of the coaches?
You can never get enough work. I know how good I am right now. He's pushing me to be the best I want to be. He wants me to get in the gym every single night, every single day, as much as I can. But, yeah, he's just very pushing. And I like that in a coach.
Yeah, no doubt. You're redshirting this year. How difficult was that of a decision for you, or wasn't it that really difficult at all?
It wasn't really difficult because we have a very good team right now. I'm just taking what I can learn from the older people. We have a lot of seniors, so they're just giving me wisdom on what to do when I get older. This is going to help me in the future, give me the best 4 years I can get instead of starting as a freshman. I don't really know much about college basketball, or I didn't know a lot about college basketball, so this is going to help me.
Yeah, there's 4 senior leaders on this year's team. What's the best piece of advice they've given you?
That's a hard one. They've given me a lot of advice.
Yeah.
I would say a lot of our seniors have redshirted, so they've just taught me to always watch what they're doing from what they've learned from other seniors. What else? That's pretty much all, really.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Again, we're chatting with BJ Walker here on the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider. Let's go inside the play. Your first collegiate points. Grace Christian at home. You got in the late minutes. Take us through that play. It looked like the parting of the Red Sea.
Yeah.
What happened after that?
Really, Coach was talking about the play before. I passed up a dunk. Obviously, I was a little nervous because first college game, first minutes, first points. Really, I went blank.
Yeah.
I saw the rim, so I was like, I got to go up with it. I didn't know I was going to get that high.
Yeah.
But after I got that high, I was like, I got to dunk it.
Yeah.
And I didn't even see the player in front of me. He started backing up, so just went up for the slam.
Went up to the heavens for the dunk. That's an emphatic way to get your collegiate scoring
Yes, it is.
going for sure. And I mentioned you went to Zeeland East High School.
Yep.
Your best moment during your time in high school playing for the Chicks?
I would say sophomore year. We're in semifinals for districts. We're down by 3. We had a huddle, and our coach was saying, we need everybody. At time, our senior wasn't playing our best lane, Risden. So I took it upon myself to call him out and be like, we need you right now. You got to perform the best you can. He ended up coming out of the huddle, hitting a 3. I feel like that was the best, no matter how many points I scored, how many minutes I played. I feel like me being a team leader helped in that situation, and that ended up winning us the game. So
The rivalry was Zeeland West.
Yep.
Neighbors. You guys pretty much share the same buildings when you go to class. You got separate basketball facilities.
Yes.
You share the same football venue. What is that rivalry like?
I think it's the biggest rivalry in Michigan. I feel like everybody around Western Michigan ends up going to that game because it's how deep it is and how it started. I feel like it brings a lot of energy and culture, really. We always go at each other in school about it, even though we're not supposed to. But,
yeah.
We can feel that tension, really. Whoever wins that game, we feel like we own Zeeland, so...
Yeah, they also refer to it as the Bird Bowl. On the academic side, it says you're majoring in business. What
Yes.
made you want to go into that major?
I've always liked numbers, really. I'm majoring in finance right now, but I'm not too sure about that.
Okay.
I'm just searching around right now, obviously, since I'm a freshman. But business has always been my thing. I love relationships, which really is a big thing in business and really any major you have. But that's why I chose business, because of relationships I have.
Yeah, as a freshman, you're getting your gen eds out of the way, then you can focus on more major-specific classes as you go along. Your biggest mentor in the game of basketball, who was it growing up?
I would say Allen Iverson. He's always had very inspirational quotes. I take that in. I don't know my favorite quote by him, but everything he says just relates to me, I feel like.
And in terms of your game, you practice, obviously, against some of the best players in the GLIAC. You probably go up against a Trevor Smith, a Mason Docks, those guys in practice, or really anybody, any of those senior leaders. How have you seen your game develop going up against some of those senior leaders on this team?
At first, I couldn't see it at all because we probably have the best defenders in Division II at least. But over time, the game has slowed down. I feel like it's easier for me. I've gotten a lot quicker because I've been lifting and stuff. But overall, I just feel like it's been easier for me to read stuff, like the defense and stuff on offense. Yeah.
BJ, before I let you go again, appreciate your time here on the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider. In terms of your family, you come from a big athletic family. Parents play sports, siblings. What do you got for me?
No, I feel like I'm the most athletic in my family, actually. Yeah.
What made you want to get into the game of basketball?
My mom has always pushed me. Since I was a baby, I was holding basketball. So.
Played any other sports in high school or just
football?
Football.
I actually messed up my finger playing football.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're glad to have you here in Allendale, BJ. Best of luck here in your developmental year, being a red shirt, and keep your game growing. And look forward to chatting with you again here sometime down the road.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. That's BJ Walker joining us here on the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider. We'll take another break. Head coach Cornell Mann will rejoin us. We got to talk about the Crosstown Showdown tomorrow, and then the rivalry returns on Thursday here at home against Ferris State. We'll talk about those matchups to wrap up the regular season right after this here on the Grand Valley Sports Network.
Hey, GV.
GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider is presented in part by Flow Sports, where you can watch the Lakers all season long. Wrapping up our men's conversation here live inside the GVSU Basketball offices. Final show of the month of February already. My name is Brian Fongers. Thanks for joining us. Head men's coach Cornell Mann rejoins us to preview what's to come. And hard to believe, Corn, it's already the end of the regular season. You got a couple of big ones on tap here. You head to Caledonia tomorrow. Crosstown Showdown against Davenport. It's a 7:30 tip for the men right after the women's game here on the Grand Valley Sports Network. And in that first matchup, you really took it to Davenport back in mid-January, 90-50. Then you followed up the rivalry game, the annual rival that is Ferris State on Thursday here at the Fieldhouse Arena in Allendale for Senior Day. That's a 7:30 tip as well on Thursday, right after the women's game here on the Grand Valley Sports Network. And Corn, I don't know if you know this, but in that first matchup on Martin Luther King Jr. Day up in Big Rapids, you won it in overtime. The biggest come-from-behind victory in your tenure. You were down 19 points with 13 to go. You rallied to win that game. So take us through this week's matchups. What are you seeing out of both teams?
Well, both teams are playing well, and Davenport is 10-3 at home, so they're playing really well at home. And so, both games are big, as you said, and my wife told me, stop smacking. I was eating popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
But those both teams are good. Again, like I said, the league is really good, and so we got our work cut out for us on both nights. We up for the work though, and we got to do our defense has to travel, and then we'll travel it back home. We got to do a great job defending and rebounding the ball. I think we are at the point where we can score the ball no matter what, and so we got to keep the other team from scoring, which is what we're supposed to be able to do, so we'll do it.
Yeah, both teams, when you look at the GLIAC standings, Ferris State 7-10 in the GLIAC, Davenport 7-11. They occupy the final two spots in the GLIAC standings, but they haven't secured anything. So both teams are coming in like this is a GLIAC tournament game for both. So you're going to get some desperation out of both squads.
Well, yeah, and even if it wasn't, we would get some desperation, for lack of a better expression. But and we have to be on top of our game no matter what. We always talk about what we do, and we always concentrate on what we have to do, and worry about that because ultimately that's what we can control.
And like I said on Thursday at Senior Day, you're honoring 4 seniors that have put in so much to this program. Real quick before I let you go, just talk about those 4 and what they've meant to you.
Well, it's that night will be emotional, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I can start with Trevor. When I got here, he had red-shirted, hadn't played, and was a very chill, didn't really put out what he had in his engine. And slowly but surely he began to do it all the way up until now. I think he's playing great ball. All 4 guys are wonderful human beings, and all 4 guys will have a degree. Audie will have his MBA. Trevor's won a lot of games, and he put together a lot of numbers and a lot of stats and a lot of end-of-game situations he finished for us. Mason Docks came here as a sophomore, and we were just talking about how quiet he was. He has come out of his shell, and he's doing a great job. Wouldn't surprise me if he tried to be a coach somehow. But he's done a wonderful job in terms of the same kind of, just a different way, just bringing his personality out, being more of a leader, and playing at a high level. He's really playing in the last month. He's been playing at a really high level, shooting the ball and finishing at the rim at high percentages. Really, really happy with those guys. Both have been and will be defensive players conference-wise. Yeah. Audie himself has been here for a long time.
6 years.
I feel great about Audie. Great for him. I also feel bad in some ways because he had such a rough go at it physically with his injuries. Love all 4 of them. Love the fact that Audie was able to come back and play and help us this year. It was up in the air. It was his decision, he and his family, and I'm sure he feel like he made the right decision, and I think he did. And again, he'll finish with his MBA. And he'll do, he could go and play if he want to. Actually, all 4 of them can. Yeah. But I don't think all 4 of them want to. Jalen, on the other hand, does want to. Jalen is going to. He has some opportunities in front of him already. Very happy for him, very happy with him. And his family is a Grand Valley family. And, I think his family is very proud of him. We're very proud of him and happy that he's part of the program. And all 4 of those guys will be, from now into the future, they'll be a Laker and they'll show face. They won't be absent. They'll show up.
Outstanding young men, too, as I've gotten to know them over the years. And Jalen, by the way, the most recent member of the 1,000-point club a couple of weeks ago. So, again, tomorrow night in Caledonia against Davenport at 7:30. Thursday here at the Fieldhouse Arena for Senior Day at 7:30 against Ferris State. He's head men's coach Cornell Cornell Mann. Corn, let's go get them this week.
Laker up.
So, after this timeout, we're going to talk all things GVSU women's basketball. They're coming off a couple of nice road victories against Saginaw Valley State and Lake Superior State. We'll talk about those victories as they are number 3 in the country and will probably stay there in the most recent national rankings that come out in the coaches poll tomorrow afternoon. We'll talk all things GVSU women's basketball from the GVSU basketball offices right after this on the Grand Valley Sports Network. Weekly Insider is presented in part by Earhart Construction, right from the start. My thanks to head men's coach Cornell Mann and BJ Walker for joining us in the first half hour on the men's side. Now we're talking all things Grand Valley State women, coming off a pair of victories on the road over the weekend. Began on Thursday at University Center against Saginaw Valley State, powered their way to a 68-42 win over the Cardinals, Battle of the Valleys, and followed up on Saturday in Sault Ste. Marie against Lake Superior State, 87-40. The GVSU women come in with a record of 25-1 overall, 17-1 in the GLIAC, still alone in first place with rival Ferris State nipping at their heels in second place, but they're still in first place. And I was just informed they may climb the national rankings at least one spot. The last unbeaten team in Minnesota State Mankato lost over the weekend, so maybe number 2 in the country, but the coaches don't focus on that. And speaking of the coaches, filling in for head women's coach Mike Williams tonight is assistant coach Amanda Parker. Amanda, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's get into the pair of victories. Where you want to start? Let's start off with Battle of the Valleys, because it was kind of a tale of two games over the weekend. I know in Thursday's game, offensively, it wasn't pretty. Defense was its usual self. Just talk about that victory on Thursday.
Yeah, it was exactly that. I think our defense was stellar once again. We struggled a little bit in the beginning of the game to score, but that's kudos to Saginaw. I mean, they're a tough physical team. They play really well together, and so we made some changes at halftime, which was good. And then I thought we were much better in the second half. Obviously, we got a lot of players in there. Everybody played, which is always great to see. We want to get a lot of those younger players, their confidence really high, because you never know when you're going to need someone. So it was good to see everybody out there.
What more can you say about Paige Van Stee? On Thursday, she had 25 points, 7 rebounds, 9 of 15 shooting. I'm just going to put it straightforwardly, being a media guy, she's playing like the GLIAC Player of the Year. What more can you say about what she's done?
Well, I may be biased, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think she's been really unbelievable. And you got to think she's playing, 15, 20 minutes a game. Obviously, if she was playing a lot more minutes, if we needed her to do that, I think the numbers would just then skyrocket, even though the numbers are pretty good already as they are. What's good about Paige is that she's been a tremendous leader for us. Her vocal ability has been unreal, just her leading the younger players and really kind of honing everybody in. And obviously on the court kind of speaks for itself. She can do so many different things and score in so many different ways. So it makes it really hard to guard. And she's been great this year.
Then on Saturday, you followed up 87-40, and you kind of spoiled the party for Lake State's senior day. Again, defense was outstanding. You put up 87 points. And talking to Coach Mike after the game, he just loved the energy from every player that played on Saturday. Would you agree with that?
Oh, I would totally agree. I thought we had a lot of energy. It was great because Lake State had an awesome crowd, with their senior day and alumni day. We love playing in environments like that. It helps us down the long run. And so it was really great to play in front of a great crowd like that. But yeah, I thought our energy was fantastic. 1 through, we had 16 travel there. So it was really great to see. Again, a lot of people got to step on the floor. A lot of people made an impact. And so, yeah, everything was good on both sides of the floor.
You had 4 players in double figures scoring. Nicole Kameen played 9 minutes, put up 12 points, hit 3 triples, bang, 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 one after another. Mackenzie Bisbal had 10. And then you had a couple of players. One of them will be our special guest on the women's side. Reese Guyton will join us in the next segment. She had a new career high with 11 points. Kelly Cray had 10 points as well. Your younger players, we've talked about it a few times, but just those 2 players specifically, they came up with double-digit points. Where have you seen the biggest development out of them?
Well, they've been putting in time. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing, off the floor, outside of practice. Those 2 have been coming in and getting with the coach, working out extra, working on their shots, working on their post moves. And I think it's really starting to pay off for them, which is really great to see. So, they're kind of working their way in, working their way through the playing time. And so, it was good to see them, shoot the ball well. And obviously, we'll take any sort of impact towards a win that we can get. And those 2 were great that day.
2 games left in the regular season, Amanda. Like I said, you guys are a game up on Ferris State for the number 1 spot, and you guys have just been on this roll as a program, winning GLIAC championship after GLIAC championship. From a coaching standpoint, do you just kind of reflect, sit back, and wonder just how amazed you are at the run this program is on right now?
Well, I think we talk about it as coaches behind the scene, but you try not to look at the past. The past is great, and what this program has done and what Coach Mike has done here is truly unbelievable. But once a new season starts, you're really just focused on that season and those current players. And so I think what these players have done this year, to battle through the conference that we have and win as much as they have is just a true testament to them and buying in and believing in what we're selling them.
What have you liked the most out of your team since their only loss of the season a couple weekends ago in Detroit?
Just the constant coming in every day, getting better. Obviously you never want to lose, but you can't predict that all the time. And I think once a team loses, you can go one way or the other. And our team refused to go down that path. And again, it's a testament to our leaders, to our seniors that we have. They've been here, they've done it. They went through the lull last year when we did that. And so they had a team meeting with just the players. And since then, it's just been moving forward and moving on, and they've done a great job with that.
Amanda, like I said, our special guest on the women's side here coming up in just a few moments is redshirt freshman out of Williamston, Michigan, Reese Guyton. Just talk about her impact and what she's done to this program so far.
Yeah, Reese is great. Off the floor, she's unbelievable. She has such a high spirit, super outgoing, great personality. She's always willing to help and do the extra, which is great, from a coach's standpoint. But on the floor, she's sneaky because she's extremely strong and physical and quick. And so she's kind of hard to guard because she can beat you off the bounce, but then she can go in and post up. So, her level of what she's able to do, she's not even reached it yet. And so I think that's what's really awesome to see, is that she's got so much room for growth. And like I said, she's been putting in extra time, extra work. And so, yeah, she's kind of coming into her own, and she's been doing a great job so far.
We'll take a break, and Reese Gaitan will join us for a conversation as we are live inside the GVSU basketball offices for a live installment of the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider right here on the Grand Valley Sports Network. Our women's basketball guest is presented by University of Michigan Health West, the official sports medicine provider of GVSU Athletics. Brian Fongers back live inside the GVSU basketball offices, rolling along with another installment of the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider. Our special guest on the women's side joins us, redshirt freshman out of Williamston, Michigan, Reese Gaitan joins us. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Of course.
So I always ask our first-timers on the show, what made you want to commit to Grand Valley State and play for Coach Mike?
I remember when I came on, I don't know if it was it wasn't my official, it was before my official, but one of my first visits, and I knew when I got here, it just felt like home, and I knew I didn't want to go too far from home, really close with my family, but I also wanted to go to a bigger school, not a super small school, so it just felt like the perfect fit. When I got here, I knew right away this is where I wanted to go. Tell
us about the community of Williamston, Michigan. You went to Williamston High School. What's that community all about?
Very loving community. I had a great time at Williamston. I had a great career there. I felt very loved by everyone. Very great support all around. Parents, even families that didn't have kids that played would show up. So, yeah, very, very loving community there.
Is there a specific moment during your time in high school that sticks out playing the game of basketball for Williamston High School?
I would say my I'll say my senior year of playing basketball, our team, we lost some older, like a lot of our big older players didn't have not a big ton of people played AAU or were super serious about basketball, but it was just a testament to let's have fun, let's play hard for each other and see what will happen. Our coach would say, why not do it and see what will happen? So I feel like that was a test on my character as a leader in my senior year, and it taught me a lot, and I just learned a lot from that experience. I would say that my senior year was, very good for me growing as a player and a leader.
I haven't asked a lot of younger players about this, but since he's not here, I'm going to pick your brain about Coach Mike. Your first impressions of Coach Mike when you started practicing on campus.
First impressions, I may have been a little scared of him at first. I feel like that's normal. But as I got to know Coach Mike, he's a great coach. I trusted everything he told me. Everything he told me to work on, I work on it. I focus on it because I know it's going to better me overall so much. And I see it every day that the things I buy into from him is making me better. Even when you'd think I don't know if that's kind of better than what I'm doing, but if you do it, it helps you huge. So he's just a great coach. As you play for him, you just trust more and more, and he helps you so much from your defense to your shot for him. He can do it all. So
chatting with Reese Gaitan here on the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider. You obviously redshirted last year during the national championship run, but I'm sure you learned so much from that from that senior core as well as this year's senior core. Is there something that sticks out in your mind in terms of advice they gave you or what you learned going up against them in practice? What sticks out in your mind?
Last year, playing against a group like that, being on the scout team, but getting to go against that group every day, I felt like even though I wasn't playing in games my redshirt year, I was way of a better player in all terms of seeing stuff on defense. Defense is a big thing here, and I definitely realized once I got here that it's not high school anymore, and it's nowhere near the same. You need to be able to guard a shot, take away a drive, tip a shot immediately. I learned so much all around, playing against good girls, learning about the defense, everything. They were also very uplifting. Getting notes in our locker last year, keep playing hard, your time's gonna come, you're doing great. So that was also awesome. Going all your life playing basketball and then having a year of not playing in any games is very weird, and it could be hard at times, but definitely grew me as a player for sure. I'm glad I took my redshirt year. I would do it again if I had the option.
But offensively, it's clicked for you recently. You had a new career high on Saturday. Congratulations against Lake State. What has clicked for you this year on the offensive end?
Buying into the coaches, listening to what they have to say. I move a lot. I like to move a lot. I like to look around where I can cut, where I can move, hit someone, go. I've learned a lot. And just buying into what they've done, I feel like I've gotten more confident. Also, like I was saying, not playing for a year is a little intimidating when you get to this year. Stayed here over the summer and really worked on open gyms and stuff, trying to get back into things. So, I feel like, it's clicked. It's getting better. Still a bunch of room to grow, but
Two-parter for you. What got you interested in the game of basketball growing up, and your biggest mentor in the game of basketball?
Okay. Basketball's always been a part of my family. My dad played basketball at LCC in Central, so I feel like that was just kind of a thing I knew once growing up I'm going to play basketball. Yeah. I started off playing at the Y when I was 4 years old in a little kid league, and then I went to play with all boys for a couple years, the same program my older brother was playing in. So that was also really good. It was hard at times. I'd be like, why aren't they passing me the ball? They don't want to pass me the ball because I'm a girl, but my parents would say, just keep going. And I knew I loved basketball from a young age, and it was always something I wanted to do.
And your mentor is family member?
My dad, for sure.
Okay.
Dad, for sure. He always gives me great advice, always has. Biggest fan. And my mom's really big fan as well. But my dad playing basketball, he's taught me so much. And many ways on and off the court, what you have to do mentally. Last year was a struggle for me, as I was saying, sometimes when it's I'm not playing, but he's just great. And since he has some college experience as well, he's been through different things too, so he's always got my back and anything I need. Same with my mom.
Academically speaking, do you have a major picked out right now?
Yes, general business right now. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with it. That's why I kept it kind of broad, but the nice thing with business, you can go anywhere with that, any different direction. So,
And then off the floor, got to get into your roommates. Who do you room with, and what do you like to do for fun when you're not playing the game of basketball?
Okay, my roommates are Kenzie Bisbal and then Sydney Charity, and then next door is, it's like a duplex.
Okay.
Lexi, Paige, Molly, and Nicole. So we're always doing fun stuff over there. It's really nice having like the connected houses. We're either watching shows, puzzles, movies. We've even done like cooking nights where I went against Sydney's boyfriend because they joke that we both don't cook that great, but I won the contest. So
What's your favorite dish to cook?
Tacos.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Nothing complex. I do like that. Reese, before I let you go, appreciate your time here tonight. On the team side of things, you guys know what's at stake coming up here, the end of the regular season, going into postseason play. What do you like about the team here going into the stretch run, going into March?
This team is very close. I feel like we have each other's backs. We know we can say something to someone without it being like it's never a negative thing. And I think a big thing for us is like, obviously we've had a great start to our season, but this is this is like fresh start right here. So keeping energy high, like I feel like sometimes it could like almost get like we're too adapted to things, like it's too normal to us, but every game has to be like it's our last from here on out. So I think keeping energy high, keeping each other hyped up, all that good stuff is going to be huge for us coming up.
Reese, it's been a pleasure chatting with you tonight. Best of luck the rest of the way. Let's keep it going.
Thank you.
That's Reese Gaitan joining us here on the GVSU Basketball Weekly Insider. We'll take one more break. Assistant coach Amanda Parker will rejoin us. We'll preview what's to come to wrap up the regular season. Tomorrow night in Caledonia, the Crosstown Showdown against Davenport. Thursday, wrapping up the regular season against the rival. It's Ferris State here in Allendale. We'll preview those games right after this here on the Grand Valley Sports Network. Part by GVSU Tickets, where you secure your seat to all the upcoming games. Brian Fongers coming to you live inside the GVSU basketball offices one final time. By the way, for next week's show, we are on location to preview the GLIAC postseason tournament. Next Monday, we are going to be live inside Condados, Tacos, and Tequila in downtown Grand Rapids. So looking forward to that one next Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. Wrapping up our women's conversation with assistant coach Amanda Parker. Amanda, let's get right into it. A quick turnaround.
Yep.
Got the Crosstown Showdown tomorrow at 5:30, 5:15 with the pregame coverage in Caledonia at the DU Student Center against Davenport. Then on Thursday, you wrap it up back at home against rival Ferris State. That's also a 5:30 tip on Thursday from the Fieldhouse Arena. Again, 5:15 with the pregame coverage here on the Grand Valley Sports Network. Amanda, first meeting against Davenport here at home. You roughed them up 78-57, although I shouldn't say rough up because Davenport was really a pesky team in that first go-around. And then against Ferris State on Martin Luther King Jr. Day in Big Rapids, you roughed them up. You almost beat them by 30 points. That was a game where it felt like a complete team effort, 88-59. But this is a Ferris State team that is really playing some good basketball lately. And you look at the GLIAC standings, Davenport is fighting for their GLIAC tournament lives, so they're playing for a lot, as is Ferris State, because that Thursday game, don't want to overlook Davenport, but that Thursday game could be for first place in the GLIAC.
Yep.
So let's break down these two games.
Yeah, that's a lot.
There's a lot going on for sure.
So Davenport, yeah, they're really good. I don't think their record kind of shows how good they are because I think they have one of the best defenses in our conference. They play us really well defensively the first time. You know, they're quick, they're athletic, they're physical inside, and so they make things really difficult for you to score. And then they're really good offensively. You know, they got a lot of weapons. You know, a lot of players that can score the basketball, either shooting it from the perimeter or off the bounce. And so, yeah, that'll be a good test for us, you know, at their place. And so we're really excited about that one. Ferris, that, you know, obviously that's a whole different animal. I think everybody knows what's at stake.
Yep.
We kind of control our own destiny with that one. You know, first time we played them at their place, you know, we can give all of our players all the credit to that. Things finally clicked offensively and defensively, and so it was a great cohesive game for us. We don't really look at that because since that's happened, they have been just throttling people. And so I think that was an eye-opener for them. And so they're playing their best basketball right now. And so that'll be something that we'll have to be ready for on Thursday. They can score with the best of them. You know, they have 5-6 kids that can score the basketball at will. And so defensively, you know, we'll try to do what we've done all season. But hopefully offensively, we've changed some things. We will hopefully have a lot of movement, and our kids will have a lot of confidence. It's great that game's at home because our crowds have been unbelievable when we're here.
Yeah, like I said, to kick off the segment, GVSUtickets.com. Get your tickets because that Thursday doubleheader for both the women and the men will be pivotal contest when it comes to jockeying for position in the GLIAC standings. In Ferris, they're playing tonight. They're coming in on a 9, maybe a 10-game winning streak going into that game on Thursday. Again, both tip-offs on Tuesday and Thursday are at 5:30, 5:15 with the pregame coverage here on the Grand Valley Sports Network. And you're in a stretch here, Amanda, playing 4 games in a span of a week. Do these short turnarounds benefit your team? Not having a lot of practice time, that may hurt a little bit. But in terms of quick turnarounds, Coach Mike actually likes those. Do you?
Yeah, I think we're used to it. I think that's why we do what we do in the preseason when we play those back-to-back games. It kind of gets us ready for this sort of thing. Obviously, if you can stay healthy, it benefits you with the quick turnaround, which we are right now, which is a good thing. And our players stay focused during that time frame. They obviously had yesterday off, which is great. They got in and got some therapy done and all that fun stuff with Toby. And so today they just focused in, and it's next game. And obviously nobody's overlooking Davenport by any means. That is for sure our number one focus. We take things one game at a time. Nobody's even looking at Thursday because we have to take care of Tuesday first. So,
Amanda, before I let you go, appreciate your time filling in for Coach Mike tonight. We talked about just the string of success this program has had, competing constantly for GLIAC championships. What's the vibe of this team? It's got to be continued excitement, not pressure, right?
We kind of got rid of the pressure a long time ago, you know, and it was constantly preached from the beginning, hey, you don't have to do what you did last year. That's not what the point is. The point is that you come in every day and you do your best. And if your best is all we get, then that's great. You know what I mean? And sometimes their best, they might miss shots, they might miss layups, they might not rebound the ball. Whatever the case is, as long as they're giving us 100% and they're doing the best that they possibly can when they're on the floor, whether it's practice or games, that's all we expect of them. Everybody's best is different. And so we took that pressure off them a long time ago. And so for right now, we're hoping that they just stay extremely confident, and like I said, focus on the one game at a time, and we'll see what the future holds.
Amanda, you're always welcome on the show anytime. Thanks for filling in for Coach Mike tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's assistant coach Amanda Parker joining us again. Doubleheader tomorrow, Crosstown Showdown in Caledonia. Women at 5:30, men at 7:30, 5:15 with the pregame coverage. And then on Thursday in Allendale, it's the rivalry, Ferris State, Grand Valley State. 5:30 women, 7:30 men, 5:15 with the pregame coverage again on the Grand Valley Sports Network. That's going to wrap things up for everybody involved. I'm Brian Fongers saying thanks for tuning in. Anchor up, go Lakers. We'll talk to you again tomorrow in Caledonia for the Crosstown Showdown.
Thanks for listening to